Hey, what's going on, guys? DJS here, collectivekicks.com. I wanted to bring you guys a video today. Follow-up video from the Lebron 12 announcement that happened today. Beaverton, Oregon. Was not invited. I'm so sad by this. It would have been cool to be able to go check it out, but was not able to. I had to work anyway, but anyway, Cousteau was there, and George Keel from Nice Kicks was there, and a lot of other people, obviously, as you would see. Anyway, I wanted to get into the official release information. First 7 colorways, my initial thoughts on the sneaker in general and all that other stuff. I mean, this is going again with the official release. I don't know, I've said my thoughts on the LeBron 12 in the past, but this is again with the official release information going forward. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at the official release information. I'm not going to play the video, but if you guys want to go check out the articles, collectivekicks.com, and you guys can see what I ended up writing on here. But basically, you can see that the model is exactly the model that we've seen previous leaks of. And that's, I guess, the first topic that I wanted to get to. This colorway was leaked in a couple different styles months and months and months ago, but it's kind of crappy, if you ask me, that the unveiling happened, like, really, for sneaker people. It happened months ago because somebody in the factory got a hold of some pairs here and there, some samples circulated, Instagram. People trying to get Instagram famous, and basically getting their pictures like all over the place of the LeBron 12s before they drop. And it's kind of the reason why I think it's kind of sucks is because, like, the Kobe 9, as far as I know, nobody knew what the Kobe 9 Elite was going to look like when it first dropped. It was the high top version. There was no leaked images of what the Kobe 9 looked like. The KD had the same problem. There was leaked images of the KD 7 before it ended up coming out. But the LeBron had, like, just about every one of these 7 colorways dropped, or that we're seeing announced at the release, was already, like, leaked images of these all over the place. So I kind of find that a little bit frustrating because it takes away from the fun factor of having a launch and an official reveal and having it already revealed. Like, we already saw all of this. There's tons of detailed images of the sneakers. So that's my nitpick. I have to say it's frustrating because it is, as a consumer and as somebody that's excited to see the new flagship LeBron model, as I used to be as excited, and I still am actually, with the Jordan line continuing. But it's different because, like I said, back then there wasn't all the social media stuff with the Jordan line, and you'd see the announcement of the new Jordan, and you wouldn't see, like, social stuff. You'd see a premiere on, like a commercial or something like that, and you're like, oh my gosh, the new Jordan, it's amazing. It was a kind of a cool feel, and I feel like you guys get kind of ripped off with that experience because people just show images. And even for what I was mentioning before, is the LeBron 11 leaked so many colorways before the LeBron 11 dropped. There was even fake LeBron 11s that were being leaked, and it looked like they were real, but they weren't. They were actually fake LeBron 11s. Like, so that aspect of it is kind of frustrating. All in all, I have to say that I like the sneaker. I think that there's a lot of cool elements to the sneaker. It looks honestly like a sneaker that would cost more than $200. So it almost seems like Nike heard the concern with the price points. And I know you guys are going to be like, dude, Hess, shut up, it's still $200. But you got to look at the tech loaded into this sneaker, and for the price point to stay at $200, it's kind of, I'm actually kind of impressed. I mean, the Kobe 11, or the Kobe 11, the Kobe 9 Elites were $225 coming out. The Jordan 29s are $225 coming out. These ones are $200, like, retail price. So I'm impressed by that, but I have a feeling obviously they'll probably have a LeBron 12 Elite, and that price point's going to be much more expensive. But you can see from this image here that they're touting this Zoom Air. Now let's see. Let me scroll down. I don't want to paraphrase it because I'm going to screw it all up. It's the visible hexagonal shaped Zoom Airs. Now they said there's only 5 of them, but as you can see from the image here, there's obviously 6, 2, 4, 6. But I think that they're talking about the 5 in the forefoot, or this one has a hole in it. You can see, like, in the middle area, it kind of has that little hexagon hole in it. So maybe there is only 5. I have to see them in hand, but obviously it looks like there's 6, but there's only 5. And then you get the visible, or not the visible, then you get the Zoom Air on the heel as well. Now, what I was joking around with you guys on Instagram, showing you guys a picture of the hexagon Zoom Air. That's been around for a long time. There was a pair of Jordans. I always get them mixed up. The Jordan, I think they're the 21s or the 22. I think they're the 22s that have the that have the hexagon. There, I'm doing it again. The hexagon Zoom Air on the heel, and it was removable, and you can replace it with Nike Air. But these ones are obviously repositioned into a whole new fashion, and you get a whole different vibe from it. So I think that it's going to be performance-wise. I'm sure people are going to have their say on it. I don't know if it will be performing better than the Jordan 29s. That's not my territory anyway. Leave that to Nightwing, Foamer, and Kicks Genius. But I'm definitely curious to see how they perform. Also, I'm curious to see if LeBron is actually going to wear the sneaker or not. Obviously, that's a big concern from everybody because he did not wear the LeBron 11. Did that hurt the LeBron 11 sales? Probably. I mean, to some extent, you'd have to say yes. Did they mass produce them? Yes. So were they expected to sell out every single time? I say no. But they released over 25 colorways of the LeBron 11. Are they going to do the same thing with the LeBron 12? I think that it's very possible considering we're seeing 7 pairs already announced at the launch. Now you can see down here at the bottom, I'll go to my other article because it's easier broken down. But it will break down the release dates and the colors and stuff like that of all the models. I think that we have 7 colorways that are dropping this year alone. So consider that. And I pulled up the wrong article. Let's jump into this as well because and I'll get back to the 7 colorways. But on October 6th, we're able to design these on nikeID. I believe that's a Monday. Usually nikeID does their thing on Mondays around 8 or 9 in the morning. PST, so East Coast, it'd be like noonish or so. But I'm definitely going to be designing a nikeID LeBron 12 from the gate. I want to try to get it early if I can and show you guys what they look like. Hopefully the first look in hand, like I was able to do with the KD 7. But I'm really curious to see what type of options they have for the LeBron 12. Now I have a feeling with the posit material on the back end of these, we're going to see some crazy designs, kind of like we did with the LeBron 11s and same with the KD 7s. I think we're going to see the same sort of thing where we're going to get paint speckles at first and then they're going to have crazy designs. So if you're looking forward to getting a nikeID LeBron and you want to get something with more options, I'm suggesting that you wait because again, I have a feeling they're going to be dropping with more designs as we go because that's the biggest fear. You pay $225 or $240, whatever it's going to cost for the nikeID, and then you get the shoe, and then right after you get the shoe they release another couple different types of cooler designs that you would have rather had. It's kind of it's a bummer, but at the same time kind of cool because they offer a lot of different options with that. Now, so that's with the nikeID thing. Going back to the 7 colorways here. These are the first 7 colorways, and I want you guys to leave some comments. Let me know which out of the 7 you guys like the best. Or do you guys not like any of them? I mean, leave a comment, let me know. But I'll scroll through and show you guys the colors here and the release dates. So the NSRL drops 10/11. That's the first colorway. Again, the 6th is the first date you're going to be able to pre-order the nikeID or design your own nikeID. So which is like the week before, or the Monday before the Saturday. But the NSRL stands for Nike Sports Research Lab. The design of the shoe was created in the Nike Research Lab, so that's what the NSRL stands for. You can look at the other posts that I had, and it has a lot more information about that. Then next you have the Heart of a Lion 1030, and that one, again, that colorway leaked early. The Dunk Force 1111. Mega Wish. Those Dunk Forces actually look pretty sick if you ask me. And it's funny that they're calling them the Dunk Force, not the Dunk Mans. Everybody knows that colorway, knows the Dunk Man. Maybe they're rebranding it a little bit because they haven't been selling as hot going forward. I mean, obviously the 7. I love the 7, Dunkman 7s or whatever. Those ones were great. But the 11s didn't really sell very well. And so maybe they're rebranding it and just trying to call it the Dunk Force. But there's no official term Dunkman, and that's the last thing I'll get to in a second as the naming convention of the shoes because I feel like it's a little bit gimmicky, but I'll get to that in a minute. Heart of a Lion 1030, Dunk Force 1111, Instinct 1122, I believe. Those ones are pretty crazy, like kind of Raptor-ish colorways. The Meridians, I think this one's probably the one that I like the best just because of the orange upper, but also you have that kind of crazy greenish like design on that posit material. That's what I was talking about. I bet you they'll have a Meridian option on nikeID. Just going off of history and thinking out loud. $1 trillion man, not the $1 billion man. Got to be the $1 trillion man. Pretty crazy looking though. I actually kind of like those ones, and then the datas or the datas, however you say it, potato potato. I like those ones as well. So my preferences out of the releases would be the datas or the datas, and the meridians, and then the probably the instincts and the dunk forces. I know I'm like I just named off a lot of them. I like the model. I think it's a clean looking model. I like what it what it offers visually. I think like the with the fly kind of knit sort of material. I don't know if it's actually technically fly knit, so don't quote me on that material. The fly wire and stuff, it looks nice. The round laces. I think that this shoe aesthetically is pleasing. As I've mentioned that in the past, I like the pull tab on the back, the tongue shape and everything. I want to see what they look like on feet in various situations, and I want to see them in hand. But there's lots of different options. Now, the last thing I wanted to touch on is the naming conventions. I have to say the naming conventions of the sneakers almost feel forced. Now, I'll go back to the original post here, the official post, because as I'm talking, you guys can read the screen and see what Nike says and why they named the things that they did. So bear with me as I'm scrolling down here. But here is the storytelling. So it's like they're making a point already to say we're telling the story of the sneaker. You guys aren't going to be naming these sneakers because we're naming them for you, and we're suggesting these are what they're going to be called. Now, the reason why I feel like it's kind of like I don't know how I feel about it is because it's not organic. I'm rushed a little bit. Sorry, I'm a little jittery. Had some coffee and I'm tired at the same time with a long day of work here. But what I'm saying is that the naming convention is not organic. Like the Jordans back in the day, I feel like they didn't call them the Chicago, whatever the heck ones or whatever. They were the white, red, and black ones. Like I mean, for the most part, there wasn't a naming convention for the sneakers. There weren't true blue Jordan 3s. There were the Jordan 3s with white, true blue and whatever. Like, so I feel like we've kind of taken and as a subculture brought on a naming convention for sneakers, and now we're being fed the naming convention for the sneakers. So these are now the dunk forces. They're not the dunk mans, and so on, and like the instinct, and do they really look like the shoe that they're telling us that they are? The instincts, do those look like? I mean, this is what it says: instinct based on the eyesight combination, blah blah blah. But do the instincts have anything that would resemble something that would you'd think, okay, this looks like the LeBron 12 instinct or the six meridians? Like I understand the six meridian or the meridians has basically says it's an ancient Chinese practice of reflexology, release energy, blah 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 blah. But how does that translate to the colorway that we see? Same thing with the $6 trillion man. Like some things, I think colorways were usually dubbed a certain name because of the colorway itself and what it looked like and things that it resembled and things like that. But the naming convention that they gave us with these sneakers, they don't look like I would go, okay, that's the heart of a lion. No, that's a red and white shoe. Like it doesn't feel as again organic as it would if we had our own naming conventions. But being fair to what Nike's doing, they're marketing and they're capitalizing, I guess, on the market for what it is, and saying no, this is going to be this shoe, and then that's what we're going to be calling it going forward. So there's no guessing of what it's going to be called. It's more legible, I guess, and having a legible sneaker makes it easier to search on and get more information on. So having one story, I do have to commend them for that at the same time. So again, that's why I'm torn. The fact that they're embracing the naming convention and they're basically saying no, this is what it's going to be, and then that's what it can be known as. So I think that has, I don't know, like I know I just literally like I play devil's advocate a lot regardless, and so you look at a situation from both angles. In other words, I'm looking at it from a consumer and seeing how it's confusing. I'm looking at it from Nike and seeing how it could be profitable and benefit them for naming their own sneakers. So that's just kind of my 2 cents. I know this is kind of a rambling video, but there's a lot of information to really cover with the LeBron 12, and I definitely will have a lot more information on this hopefully going forward. I don't have any inside plugs or anything like that with LeBron's, But I do like what I see, and sometimes I definitely like it like this because it's nice to be just the consumer that I am and see this sneaker and give you guys my honest feedback of what I think about it. But really, I want to know what you guys think about the sneakers as well. Which ones, again, out of these ones, do you guys like the best? Maybe name just the top two because, like I said, I named like four of them. So if I had to do a top two, I'd say the Meridians, number one, and either Dunk Fort. No, I'd have to say the Datas because I like the other ones, but I don't love green just because I'm a Beaver fan. So I'll leave it at that. I also do like the NSRLs as just the first colorway. I always love getting the first colorway of a sneaker if I can do it. But that's my thoughts. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the model. Some of you guys are gonna trash the model and just say you hate them, but try to be more creative than that if you can in the comment section. Also, the last thing I wanted to touch base on is the soles. That's one thing that I'm not really sure about how this is going to go down because as you can see right here, the sole has different colored pods, and it looks like on every single model they have every single colored pod, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. I want to see more, and I want to see what it looks like on nikeID if we're able to change the pod colors because it's kind of distracting to have the infinity gauntlet on your foot, like basically with all these different colorways. But heads up on that, I'll definitely be trying to do like an infinity gauntlet colorway if I can on nikeID. I did one of those on the LeBron 11s actually, which was pretty fun to be able to do. But anyway, I'll leave it at that now finally, and we'll yeah, get back to whatever I'm supposed to be doing now because I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm probably supposed to be making dinner or something. But thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. And if you missed the video earlier today, it was kind of a fun one, just a random unpackaging, unbagging pickup video with a wife. Was a fun one for us to be able to do. Anyway, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.